I say, hail to the chief of the Darjeeling Council of the Great White Brotherhood, who does so care for his chelas, who does so care for his own. Hail to our beloved chief. As I prepare to speak to you, beloved, I invite you to express your gratitude to beloved El Moria. Beloved ones, I would tell you how dear to the heart of El Moria you are, how he has spoken to me for weeks, how he has planned, how he would come here today to deliver to you this message so that you would not forget and not neglect and recognize how critical are the final hours of a soul who does plan to take flight from Earth's schoolroom, knowing that her course is done. And so he said to me, Kuthumi, shall we not conduct a healing service, that they might be delivered of encumbrances that would prevent the full comprehension and import of this message? Shall I not also be brief, that they might not become lost in a sea of words? Shall I not also send my messenger with my Excalibur, from which the hordes do flee? Kuthumi, come and help me. For in this, with Kuan Yin, we must not fail. Blessed hearts, treasure one who loves you so much. Therefore know that as the tenderest father, with profound concern, so does your dear El Moria also await your response, your decrees, that he might do more to seal and protect this destiny so vast, so envisioned so long ago by your Jesus. Therefore I represent both El Moria and Jesus as we go before Maitreya. And I come for the alleviating and the healing of the burdens of the soul. For these burdens, beloved, are a malaise for which there is no physical tonic. And for that I am sometimes grateful, for surely the pharmaceutical companies should have entered into competition long ago to sell their wares for the supposed healing of the soul. Thus it is a realm untouched by them, but surely invaded by others. This invasion has come through chemical dependencies and mind-altering drugs and plain old ordinary food. Thus the mouth has become the trap door for much that has afflicted the soul and obscured the great light of heaven. In this hour, beloved, I would take up a teaching given to you by the messenger recently. For this teaching is so necessary that it must be ensconced in its proper setting of proper proportion. It is the teaching concerning the dying not self, the lesser ego, the beast of the dweller on the threshold. Many of you have taken from that not self its vitality and life, its freedom, its enjoyment. You have starved the beast, you have beaten the beast. The beast may be lying half dead in the subconscious, but not seeing this event as graphically as we see it. You have sometimes neglected to deal the death blow, the mortal wound, for the depression of the dead and dying beast has turned back upon yourself and upon the soul being sensitive and feminine in nature, therefore absorptive, filled with empathy and sympathy, has identified with that dweller and thus begun to take on a mold of discouragement, despair, despondency. Enter depressa, entity of the annihilation ray. And where depressa is, can the suicide entities be far behind? Beloved ones, you are giving birth spiritually to a most beautiful being of light. But until the hour of your wedding day before the altar of God, you see, I liken that moment as the wedding, even as Moria speaks of it as your graduation. Until that wedding day, the soul is not yet permanent, not yet sealed in her Lord, her Christ, her husband. The divine spouse does wait at the altar and is not the best man, even the very best friend that you know, the ascended one, that Lanello, that winks to make the whole process a bit easier. And who shall give away the bride but the tenderest father of all, your beloved El Moria? Blessed one, until that hour, the not-self wages that war against the soul and causes you to wear the sackcloth and mourning of depression and the Via Dolorosa, when in reality you have woven the wedding garment, yet it hangs in the closet, you yourself not feeling worthy to put it on. Friends like Job's friends have told you, you must have sinned and gravely sinned to have such a house of cards come down upon you. Is it not true that those who desire a better resurrection claim all the karma that they can possibly carry, having no desires to appear wise and vain and successful? They should rather be fools for Christ and be rid once and for all of the dregs of karma that have no place when the bride is one in the secret chamber with the living Christ. I say, beloved, you are shining ones. These ghosts of former selves must not be allowed to linger. Too receptive are you to these subtle negatives. If someone makes a frontal attack upon you, you are always the victor. But the subtleties that creep in, beginning with discouragement, are as deadly as hell itself. Thus I come with enlightenment for the soul and a true cause for happiness. Just call then for that great sword Excalibur to be plunged by the living hand of God and the Divine Mother into the core, the point of origin, the nadir of the not-self, and realize that you have already consumed, in some cases, large percentages of that not-self. Now then, beloved, at a moment when legions of victory, armies of the faithful and true, and of the 7 archangels are marching for the binding of the assailants of the light bearers, is it not a moment to thrust toe and accelerate and summon all of one's forces and be done with this nest of serpents, not letting one remain? There are indeed tides in the affairs of men. There are cosmic moments. They must be recognized. Do not miss them. Too many of you miss them and miss, as they say, a piece of cake. That's how it can be when you are surrounded by the legions of Archangel Gabriel, and they are ready. For you have earned it. You have balanced the karma. You have seen through it. You have learned the lesson. Everything is in your favor. including your cosmic astrology. You are poised for the victory, but you do not take the step. Beloved, better to take 3 or 5 or 10 steps and be as one that beateth the air, and to have one of those steps be that ultimate victory, not of the battle, but of the war. We are here then by our devotion to the will of God and the wisdom of God. We lay a foundation firm that you might receive from beloved Eros and Amora the crowning diadem of love. Angels of the world, teachers, with the skill of surgeons, are doing all that the great law allows them to prepare the crown chakra for greater illumination. Let the illumination be called forth now from those cosmic Christs of other spheres. I require your summoning. Do so then in song. Invoke them, led by your choir now. Please stand.
Number 42.
Christ,
O beloved, your calls for the great cosmic light, given in Saint Germain's violet flame tape, are a building momentum for that cosmic Christ illumination. Think of it, beloved. Cosmic Christ illumination reaching a critical mass on planet Earth. What will it take? Right off the bat, it will take your crown chakra glowing intensely with devotion to the mind of God. Oh, how we attend the hour when, for a sufficiency of violet flame tapes, we may be next in line for illumination's golden flame, and therefore sweeping round the world like electric spark, there can fly and move and be the bursting in the sky of those yellow fireworks of Confucius and Lord Lanto and Jothiel. O adepts of the golden flame of illumination, bodhisattvas, all who raise the light of the Divine Mother, know you not that they must one and all balance all planes of the chakras to achieve that height? For those serving on the second ray, then, all other roads lead to the crown chakra and the highest good, which is total God awareness. When one is totally God aware, can one deny his truth, his will, his love, his mercy, his service, and his expose of all those things that even intelligent men and women close their minds and eyes and ears to, for to confess the facts at hand does require too much commotion in the desire body. Ah, yes, beloved, pity those who close their eyes to truth, for they indeed lack illumined action, not by absence of knowledge, but absence of courage. Thus the heart suffers, the threefold flame atrophies, and all things come to nil and nihilism in those who deny what illumination does uncover. Let it uncover all. Do not cower before the truth of oneself or another. Do not fear it. Do not be dismayed or burdened by it. A lie is a lie is a lie. Human creation ad nauseam is human creation. Do not be embarrassed. Be grateful you can stand and look at it and laugh at it and be laughed at and even scorned. You will discover who loves you not. It will not take a daisy to find out. And those who you thought did not love you will come from all directions. Your champions, your friends. They may even become your disciples. For those who are of the truth love those who confess the truth and espouse the truth they see. True hearts love a heart who will take a stand for what is revealed. How do you suppose we could bring forth so much revelation? We have tried it before through many. I tell you, it takes a class of the messengers of the god Mercury, who have had eons of training of accurately delivering the messages of their hierarchs, never shunning to deliver it even when it could be easily calculated that the reaction to the message could be so terrific as to blow away the harbinger of someone's bad news. Bad news, I say. Indeed, it is bad news when the Lord God does deliver through the boy Samuel the judgment of Eli, the high priest. Consider the courage of the child to speak truth, and of the presence of that child, that Francis, that Prince of our hearts, who could speak the truth in such power of God that the powerful should stand back and confess, "Aye, it is true. Thou hast spoken. There is a prophet in Israel." So, my beloved, if you do not fear the uncovering of error, all truth will be made known to you. Is not truth a two-edged sword? And is not one edge of it comfort's holy flame from Holy Spirit? O truth is the everlasting comforter. Extol her, Pallas Athena, twin flame of the Mahachohan. Blessed hearts, I, Kuthumi, valuing the candle whose flame is wisdom in the night, counsel you to so increase understanding that you will enter the ranks of a Solomon and not be confounded by the lies of the fallen ones who would take from you the cup of victory's mead. All they have to defeat you are lies. But many do not know a lie when they hear one, for they have not studied cosmic law or truth. Blessed ones, you can go within and train and focus the inner eye upon the crown chakra and through it, upon your holy Christ self. You may idle away the hours with your two-eyed vision fixed to the damnable TV set that has torn many a chela from healthy progress on the path. When you train the inner eye, then, and fix it upon the star of the crown chakra, the Kundalini shall rise, the wisdom of heaven shall be open to you. Thou shalt never be called fool. Thou shalt outsmart and outwit the sinister minds who would defeat your course. O ignorant animal magnetism! O density, O perversity! O blasphemy against the Divine Mother! How can you ignore a law vouchsafed to you? How can you at any time fail to pursue with the rigors of discipleship and the vigor of a Chila of El Moria. Every word that has proceeded out of the mouth of God as hierarchy in these teachings, only to discover therein your own salvation. Shall all of this royal Teton ranch be for naught, or all of hierarchy's planning for eons not be seized by you as you would pluck a most beautiful flower from a shrub? We have not prepared all of this to lose one soul, one Chila, who is ready to ascend. Be wise, beloved. Be wise. We speak because some, as though slowing down on a conveyor belt, have fallen back and backwards, but know it not. Absent a sense of co-measurement, then, some are falling asleep. Some are falling asleep, beloved. They do not know they are losing ground. I am here to tell you so. It is the hour of thy victory. Summon it. Accept nothing less. Be vigilant, and you shall win. I reveal to you a side of myself you have not seen. And as I open my garment, there you will see the vast mirror inside. Now you will look in that mirror, each one, as my electronic presence is before you. And in that mirror, you will now see an aspect of self not seen hitherto, an aspect of self that is your worst enemy. Gaze upon it, beloved. And there, make the sign of the cross of Saint Francis. I bequeath to you my momentum of that incarnation for the defeat of this worst enemy, and then all lesser enemies, phases, figments, fantasies of the not-self, until you see in the mirror of my inner garment the blazing reality of your holy Christhood. This is the path, walk ye in it. The door is open. May you elect to walk through it in this life. The nature of the urgency of this choice made today, then hotly pursued, may not be made known to you. Thus, with all of our desiring and the ability at hand, we have come for this purpose and to this end, that you might be who you really are. You are sealed in the will of God and His wisdom. Go your way, beloved. Make it God's way. I am with you. I am with you. We are with you, now unto the hour of your victory in the heart of the Blessed Virgin over sin, disease, and death. So, we sprinkle you with ruby droplets. Catch the stars.